Welcome to KRL.
He's going on the outside, down the inside. Rob Dog on Wilco. Oh, don't touch, fellas. Side by side, nothing in it. Hackett and Thorpe. Thorpe and Hackett. But V8 man is very, very close. Is he going to have a go down into the hairpin? Oh, Wilco stays out wide. Leaves the door open for Dane, and Dane goes down the inside and takes the lead, but now Wilco's going to have a crack back at him around the outside. Can he get it done? Jimbo breaks a little bit early. They almost touch, but Jimbo comes out the final corner onto the start-finish straight, and I reckon he's going to hold on. Wilco, yes! It's Righty in 11th, Mr. Wright. Looking to go down the inside of Nobby Doldrums, and he's going to get that job done. And I reckon Barters, is he going to win out? Can he hang it around the outside? They touch, but Mighty Murph gets through. Nights a week, Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the Kid Buyers YouTube channel.
It's time to go racing for KRL.
Yep, we're just getting this chat sorted out. Trial Z, sorry, we just got no noise at the moment. That's okay, that's okay. Okay, we're going to come in, okay. Bob, we'll come in.
Yes, mate.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello and welcome. It's the Kid Buyers Racing League Watkins Glen multi-class KRL social race. That is a mouthful if you don't mind, but it is great to have everybody's company live and exclusive here on Twitch. It's something a little bit different, a little bit new to me, and if it is for you, it's great to have you along for the ride. We had a practice race last night. That was the practice race. This is the social practice race, and look at some of the names. We've got Jason in there. Good luck all. Rain of Fire, evening lads. Hello to you. Rain of Fire just telling us he was supposed to race tonight, but only just walked in the door. As I welcome Bullseye Bobby Hoskins, the suave Englishman from Perth. Is that a good enough excuse, Bob? I'm not too sure, but good evening to you, and what a night we're in store for here.
No, it should be a good night. It's going to be good fun as long as these BMs stay close together. They'll have a good old tussle, and the speed difference between the Cup car and this, it's going to be massive. It's going to be good fun.
Absolutely.
And no excuse for rain.
Well, just as I was about to pay him out there, in fact, Bob, he's actually come on and said he's done a 13-hour day driving a crane truck. He is absolutely spent, he reckons. Still, we'll get back to you on that one, Rain of Fire. We're not sure whether that's still good enough. But
no, sat aircon all day.
Yeah, what's going on, Rain of Fire? As this man, we've said multi-class race, you talked about that speed difference. And it was very, I think it was over 10 seconds, a little bit more per lap between the BMWs, and you could see that going through the bus stop chicane, or whatever it is, the upper loop, the outer loop, the shoe, the sock, the heel, the toe, down further down of this circuit. But I've got to say, part of the USA DLC pack, and it's worked out quite good. We've got 3 pretty decent tracks, as Wilco tried to come out of the pit lane. And what's going on here, Bob? We're just taking a look at Wilco. Are they lining up to get ready? We saw, of course, last night the Porsches coming out first. We had a split qualifying. I think that's what we're also doing here tonight.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on there, just to make sure that who can be the first porker out on track. As we see, Son of Spawn Dad has got his first lap in. Yeah, so I think they're just trying to book their place for, you know, when that 11-minute mark hits.
nice and early as we're just fixing up the chat there. Rain of fire, and he's come in with another excuse. Let's have a look at it here. He says he actually said nearly tipped it down the side of a mountain. Is that a good enough excuse? We'll let you know. And he's laughing about that one. Wilco, the tyres actually gain a bit of pressure sitting there in the pit lane. 10-minute mark, that's right, course split qualifying. We're seeing son of Spawn Dad out on the circuit at the moment.
Urban Ghost goes top.
And the Ghost, those two had a very interesting battle last night in the practice race, I've got to say. And Jimbledon, evening gents, looking forward to a good night of racing. Great to have Jimbledon along. Absolutely fantastic. It is an absolute pleasure to bring this to you, one and all, here tonight. As we do apologise. Let us know how the audio's going. And if anything sounds a bit iffy, let us know. But this qualifying session is going very, very quickly. Talk us through this track, Bobby, your experience here. Not a former World War II airfield like we see with a lot of UK circuits, but still, it is an old school track, a lot of elevation changes. What do you need to get right around here as a driver?
Right. In particular, the bus stop. You've got to attack the bus stop. You've got to try and carry as much speed as you can through the inner and outer loop, down the chute. It does get a little bit squirrely as you're coming down the chute into the left-hander. The toe it's just normal. I would say also as you exit the heel into turn 9, if you tip that in incorrectly and get on the power too early, in particular in the cup, you're going to lose stacks of time out of turn 9 into turn 10. So from me, the bus stop is vital. The left-hander, like corner number 6 at the chute, and turn 9 going into 10. They're your most important parts. And of course, the final turn. If you do not get close to the outer limits of the track on exit, you're not going to be carrying that straight line speed down the start-finish line.
As we see Urban Ghost now, he is in P1 in the BMW class. What time is he set at? 2:04.130. He has a little bit of traffic here in the way of Kilroy, but I've got to say, audio coming through fine. Thank you for that, Jimbledon. And don't forget, we are trying to hit the 20 followers mark here on Twitch, the KRL Twitch channel. We mentioned at the top of our show, Bob, we are slowly transitioning from YouTube to Twitch. I just got used to YouTube and now I've got Twitch, but it's good to know the audio's sounding good. Hopefully the quality is crisp as well. And has Urban Ghost got a bit of an issue here with Kilroy, or is he going to get out of the way, Bob? What's going on there at the moment as we come towards the middle part of this lap? Is he letting him through? Yes, he is. So
yeah, it looks like they're
up too much.
Yeah, it looks like they just backed out of it a bit. Neither one of them seems to be on a flyer, but it's hard to tell with these. So they've got such like a deep groan to them, these little BMs.
As we see Harvey, as Albert has been good enough to join us. Hey Trav, how's it going, guys? Evening to you. And it sounds so much better in Spanish. Thank you, Alberto, for joining us. Let's give him the camera angle he deserves. And you can see there, would love to get Albert's thoughts on the little rivalry, or the big rivalry between Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. And you can see they wait for the noise when the Cup cars leave the pit lane, Bob. The sound is absolutely fantastic. As we're going to keep going through the drivers. Kilroy in P4 out of 4. Is that a bit of a retro BMW German livery there, Bob? Or is that, am I just seeing things? It looks awfully nice though. The black, the colours of the German flag. As he comes out, they're still in the pit lane there. You can see Wilco and Sexy Rexy waiting to come out. The rest of the Porsche boys, Figo, and he is going to be, he's going to play a big part in tonight. Mac Miller, we've got a very large field as we've got a yellow flag out for something. We might return to the garage to see what's going on as we get back on track if you don't mind.
Oh, son of Spawn Dad, he's off into the grass, into the wall.
And that,
Urban Ghost has actually teleported, so yeah, that was a yellow flag, was the Urban Ghost going back to the pits.
and we can see there that Urban Ghost ending up in the wall. Now he's back in the pit lane, as you can see there. So what have we got? Just over a minute to go until the BMW guys come in. 4 BMWs in the field tonight, as well as, what have we got, 10 Porsches. We had a couple of late outs, but we are still have a pretty decent field, a pretty decent turnout. We have a new season coming up as well, Bob, kicking off in December, I should say. But look at the people online. We've got 13 if you don't mind, including Gimbledon, Rain of Fire, Albert, Buenos noches, Senor Alberto, and the man, the myth.
Come on, get on it.
Oh, who are we getting on at the moment, Bobby? Please. Oh, hang on.
I thought Kilroy was going to show some improvement. He's very close to putting together a green lap, so I didn't know if he was actually going to jump a couple of spots.
And currently with this might be, well, it is going to be their last time around too, isn't it, the BMW boys, before they're going to have to come in the pits. And we're going to see the Porsche boys coming out. As you can see there, Kilroy 1.9 off the pace, Urban Ghost with a 2:04.130. Leading the way for the BMWs. Son of Spawn 4 tenths further behind him. Then it's Harvey Mayo C. His mum's going to message in and just say that I'm not saying that correctly. He's 4 tenths off the pace. Then Kilroy, this will be the last time around for Kilroy, is it? No, he's stopping.
He rolls out of it. Yeah, so we've always called Harvey we've always called him Mayo. It was easier. We call him Mayo. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, which is Spanish, rather Spanish sounding indeed. Sounds so good coming from an Englishman. Here comes Wilco. This is the man that was on the pacing of the Grand Slam last night. If you don't mind, you can hear that sound coming through of these cup cars, Bob. It is absolutely incredible music for the ears.
Yeah, very shrill. They've got a nice crackle, you know. In real life, oh my lord, they're spine tingling.
As you can see there, here they come. Just listen to that. Trying to jostling for track position, and they don't have a lot of time around here, do they? What have we got? 8.5 minutes left. And he wasn't kidding, Wilco, waiting for that noise when the cup cars come around. Have we had someone else join? Have we had Nobby Nuts join? And they're pretty loud for handbags with wheels. Thank you for that, Rain of Fire. Just up and about tonight. And 9 people watching now. Please, if you are watching and you haven't followed the Kid Buyers KRL channel, please do so, because we've got a very, very big season coming up. Is that a yellow flag, or is that somebody in the pits, Bob? I'm not too sure with 8 minutes to go.
I can't... Oh, no, there is a yellow, yes. So who is that? 54. Right, it must just be because he sat in the pits. He must be on pit exit.
There we go. So he's on the exit of the pits. Wilco, I guess he was jostling for position at the end of the pit lane, and now he looks to be leading. I think he's the first of our Porsche runners out on a hot lap. Look at the speed difference there, Bullseye, compared to the BMW cars. Incredible going through the bus stop.
Yeah, we're going to see, like, I would say between 13 and 15 seconds time difference between these cars. So I would sort of expect to see some lapped car action, sort of lap 5, lap 6.
And there we have it. Here he comes through the toe, or what I think is called the toe. It's part of the shoe or part of the boot. I'm still getting that worked out as we come down now. You can see, like we keep saying, the speed difference, 13 to 15 seconds between these cars each and every lap. And I've got to say, this lap, we can't see the timing screen. We'll just stay on the broadcast camera for the time being as Wilco comes up to the final couple of corners to finish his lap. We might just go through them one by one. Wilco looks to be first across the line here. to set that quick lap. What are we thinking, Bobby? 147s? Let's have a look. It was 147.7 or 8, I think, last time around. He comes across. It's a 148.785. And then Rexy, sexy Rexy, goes quicker than that. Who else have we got? Shawnee Fuller coming across the line now. Where's he going to go? 2.5 off the pace. Albert across the lane. What can Albert do? He may be starting his hot lap, I beg your pardon. And Rexy, look how close it is at the top. But we know if last night...
1.5 tenths.
Yeah, if anything, if last night's anything to go by, Bob, these boys can go a lot quicker than that with 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I'd expect to see these boys into the 47s for sure. I don't know how long the track's been at optimum, but they've only had the BMs circulating, you know, for a number of laps, so it wouldn't have rubbered in fully yet.
There we have it, Figo through the bus stop. We'll call it the bus stop tonight, as Figo coming through the sweeping curb, getting plenty of curb there, leaving nothing on the table. You can see the difference, between 15 and 17 seconds. In fact, these Porsches, the Cup cars, absolutely fantastic, as that yellow flag still out, which I believe is for Spawn. And there we have it. So sexy Rexy very close at the top. But as we said, track conditions absolutely perfect. Optimum, no real wind to speak of. No weather either, Bob, which is also important. So we've got a dry track, dry conditions leading into what will be a 45-minute race with mandatory pit stops. And we've got the Dirty Dozen watching us on Twitch. Big hello to you. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. And as soon as we said 147s, Bob, a 147.86 sees Wilco on provisional pole position, with plenty of time in his pocket, but it's going to get tighter than that.
Yeah, we're getting down to the business end now. You've only got about another 3 laps that the guys could put in. No one's going to pit in at this stage, I wouldn't imagine.
And there you have it, 147.8. 148, and Figo on.
Oh!
And
right, Shawnee Fuller has just met the wall.
And he's met the fence on that occasion. We might see what Whipper Track's doing. Geordie, hello Geordie. It is great to have your company with us. It is, in fact, an all-German field.
Yeah, besides Audi, what are the manufacturers missing? GRT?
And it is, das gut. But we are racing in the United States of America here at the beautiful Watkins Glen racing circuit. How good is it to see Geordie online tonight? And who is on a quick lap, please, Bob? Let's have a look. We're going to ride on board. Is it Sexy Rexy or is Wilco coming around? We might see if Wilco can go quicker before we head back to Sexy Rexy and see if anyone else can knock Jason Wilkinson off provisional pole position here tonight. It's a social race. It might be a practice social race. But I've got to say, these boys are absolutely on it, aren't they, tonight, Bobby?
They are. The boys are chucking in some pretty decent and competitive times at the moment. It's not as tight as I was expecting, though. There's a couple of people I think are maybe holding back a little bit for the race. In particular, number 913.
913. Let's take a look at number 913. Whipper Track. Whipper Track. Whipper Tack. Jeez, get it right, would you, kid bias? He's off the track. Wings AU. First time chatter. Thank you. Great coverage, boys. Keep up the good work from Wings AU. Let's hope you give me some wings tonight. Sounds a little bit strange, I guess, but 2 minutes left in qualifying. Wings, don't forget to follow this channel. We are trying to get to 20 followers, which opens up a few more options on Twitch. And how is it going with a larger field? The update is a massive improvement. The stream looked good last night. Thank you for that, Geordie. We are on PC, as in we are streaming through the PC tonight. So there may be a slight reduction in the crispy quality of the stream. We were going direct from the PS5 last night, but we hope it is coming through nice and clear. Let's hope the audio is nice and crisp as well. A 47.7. Wilco's got some traffic here. Is he going to get another go at it? I think he will. But so far, once
he
again...
should get another lap done. Yep.
Yep, he's going to get another go here. Whipster 92. The man is currently sitting in P4 on the grid. Now, before you head back out on track for the race tonight, don't forget Whipster to follow. I'm going to keep an eye on all this, Bullseye, you know that, as what's going on here. 21 followers. We've hit the 21 follower mark. It is great to have everybody on board. We've got the Dirty Dozen watching us. And let's have a look. Already done, boys. Thank you for that, Whipster. The man on the second row of the grid tonight. And everyone's thinking, you know what? We're sick of looking at Wilco. Let's look at somebody else. And here's Sexy Rexy, yibbada. And he's got another go at it. And are those some clouds I see, Bob? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get any rain tonight. Has everyone managed to get around? I think they're all going to get around for another run here.
Yeah, so we
Figo
should do...
Carry on, Bob. I just had a bit of a moment there.
there we go. There's a few movements there. So Figo has gone within half a second. The Boss has jumped up into third. So out of nowhere, the Boss is up in the podium positions.
And I was about to say that Figo just gave it absolutely everything and then some coming out of that final corner. But let's count down. 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's the final countdown.
And I told everybody I wouldn't sing as Figo taking a lot of curb. This is something we've seen in the Porsche Cup cars, the speed going through the bus stop, Bob. They've got to watch it. They don't extend the track limits too much, do they? They don't want to lose their lap time in the final run here.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously during the race it's a different matter, but yeah, it's you know, very important during quali that it is clean. Oh, here we go. Wilco's just kissed the wall. So yeah, he's got that car set up pretty loose tonight.
And it's getting looser by the second as he's off into the gravel, and that leaves, who else have we got? Who's the lead runner here of these Porsches?
92, that's Albert.
Albert, here he comes across the line. He's 2.8 seconds off of pole position as someone just absolutely smacks themselves into the wall there. One of the yellow cars. Is that Sexy Rexy, I think?
Well, Albert's at 1.3 seconds off with that lap.
Here comes...
Good Vibes are next across the line.
Good Vibes coming across the line now. Thank you, Bob. He doesn't improve, I don't think. 1.7 off of pole. The Boss, what can he do? The Boss, what can he do? That is the end. He can't do much. He stays P3, I think, Bob, to end the session.
Not a bad effort, though. So, yeah, it's not quite as close as I thought it was going to be. That, you know, like the top 5 is spread by 1.3 seconds, but... You know, it hit the 47s like we predicted. Let's see what happens in the race.
So let's recap for everyone watching live and exclusive here on Twitch. It's the Kid Buyers social multi-class social practice night. And I'll get that right before the end of the evening. But there we have it, Wilco. It's a multi-class race, of course. Half a dozen BMWs and about, what do we got, 10 or so Porsches as well. But it is Jason Wilkinson on pole position here tonight with a 147.757, and then it's Figo, and he didn't get going last night. We had another practice race last night. He didn't get going, of course, with some issues with his wheel. He's in P2. The Boss a little bit further back in P3, still a second row start for him. Sexy Rexy, yibbada. Thank you for that. Rexy in 4th place. Whipper Tack. Wasn't happy, Bob. He could have done better than that. He was on the second row. Then it's Prince Albert, or the great Albert, King Albert we call him, the King of Spain in P6. Good Vibes in P7. Mac and Cheese in P8. Good to see him back. Shawnee Fuller 5 in 9th. Then it's Skill, how do we say that again? Skill 8. Okay. Escalator, that's a great one. It's good in practice. Not sure whether it'll come out that cleanly in the heat of the moment come race time. Urban Ghost, the first of the BMWs, or pole in the BMW class, I should say. Son of Spawn, Dad, those two had a ding-dong battle last night. Mayo C, I see you, Mayo, come in, and he's in 13th. Kilroy, 14th. Sorry, I'm getting that wrong. 4th in the BMW class. Nobby Nuts, Spectator, and there we have it. Those are your commentators down the back. It wasn't quite a race of attrition last night when we were practicing, but this race, 15 minutes longer, Bob. Conditions a little bit cloudy overhead, but track temperature 24 degrees, air temperature 23, as we count down less than a minute until we go racing here tonight. And we do have a longer formation lap, ladies and gentlemen, so we might go to a word from our sponsors, but we'll be back right after this. Stick around.
Welcome to KRL.
He's going on the outside, down the inside. Rob Dog on Wilco. Oh, don't touch, fellas. Side by side, nothing in it. Hackett and Thorpe. Thorpe and Hackett. But V8 man is very, very close. Is he going to have a go down into the hairpin? Oh, Wilco stays out wide. Leaves the door open for Dane, and Dane goes down the inside and takes the lead, but now Wilco's going to have a crack back to him around the outside. Can he get it done? Jimbo breaks a little bit early. They almost touch, but Jimbo comes out of the final corner onto the start-finish straight, and I reckon he's going to hold on. Wilco, yes! Righty in 11th, Mr. Wright, looking to go down the inside of Nobby Doldrums, and he's going to get that job done. And I reckon Barters, is he going to win out? Can he hang it around the outside? They touch, but Mighty Murph gets through. Nights a week, Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the Kid Buyers YouTube channel.
It's time to go racing for KRL.
Yeah. We might come back now. We're getting sort of towards the end, I guess, so we'll just leave a bit of car noise and then we'll come back in a few seconds. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bob, we are about to go racing after this very long formation lap. I think the Porsche guys have got to get away, don't they, first, before the BMW guys? I think, is that how it's working here as we start this one?
Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed. So I don't know how Wilco set the server up. There are a few different ways that you can set this formation lap up. But yeah, I'd expect out of that final corner, you will see them start to sort themselves out. Might be a bit of gamesmanship, you know, amongst the people. Might be ghosting in and out of each other just to try and gain a bit of a psychological advantage.
And you can hear the roar of 10 Porsches, 6 BMWs. The BMWs somewhat drowned out by the Porsches, we've got to say. But you can see Wilco Figo, who's got underway tonight. He starts alongside him. You can see the drivers. You've got to stay in your lane, don't you, Bob, before the start of this race. We're almost ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the Kid Buyers Racing League Watkins Glen, a multi-class race here on Assetto Corsa. We are go almost.
Green light.
Green light, give it all you can. Go, go, go. Wilco leads away, but it looks like Figo's got a better start than him. Rex slotting in behind Figo, the boss, and Escalator. Gee, that rolled off the tongue with the greatest of ease. How good's that? Thank you for fixing that one up, Bob. But Wilco leads. Listen to the sound. Zoom, 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 zoom. And here on lap 1, 45-minute race, mandatory pit stop. Wilco leads, Figo second. And the boss, I think, is being jumped by Sexy Rexy. Yibbita, yibbita. The King of Spain is looking down the back of Whipper Snack, Whipper, la la la. And you can see now, and all sorts of action happening everywhere here, Bob, halfway through the opening lap.
Yeah, sorry, I had a bit of a glitch then. I thought someone had just completely gone through the back of Albert. But yeah, it looks as if the guys are just trying to take it steady, actually, to settle down in the cars and, you know, start their race from the next lap. Although Figo and Rex are having a bit of a duking out session up front.
And there's plenty happening then. Wilco leads, Figo second, green flags waving. You can hear it. They are so close. And I've got to admit, they do seem a little bit toey there on the opening lap. Still plenty of time to go. Was that somebody running wide there? Was that Whip attack? No, I don't believe so. Albert. Then it's Mac Miller. Shawnee Fuller. Escalator. Gee, that's coming off really nicely. Top 10 there. Good vibes. And boy, this leaderboard, you can see the first of the BMW class. Let's not forget about these boys. Follow the leader at the moment, Urban Ghost leading Son of Spawn. Then it's Mayo, Nobby Nuts, beautiful livery on that one. Followed by Kilroy, everybody's favourite Kraut, rounding out the field at the back for the BMWs. And I've got to say, this is competitive. It's sheep stations at the moment, Bob, here. Look how close it is up front for the Porsches.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we expected, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get down close to those quali times during the race, but yeah, I expected the race would be, you know, a lot closer than quali.
And you've got to say, Wilco not quite having as easy a time of it as what he did last night, because he sort of ran away with things in our other practice stream last night, but he is absolutely being kept honest here by Figo as we come around the shoe, or the boot, I'm not quite sure, but 10 Porsches coming round the toe at the moment, into the heel. Might be the bottom of the foot. The heel's coming up, I beg your pardon, but it is so close. And you could throw a hanky over about 4 or 5 of them at the moment, because there's only not even half a second between Jason and Figo. Sexy Rexy dropping back a touch, along with the boss, Albert. Hey guys, buenos noches, Alberto. And then it's Mac and Cheese, Shawnee Fuller 5. Then it's Whip Attack, Skill dropping further back. Good Vibes also dropping further back. And look at the gap already. Barely through lap 1, 13 seconds back to the BMWs. 13 people, lucky 13, baker's dozen watching us here tonight. If you are watching this stream and you are not following, then please follow, as Geordie, Figo's livery, gets my vote for Pony Club livery. Sexy Rexy says meh. Not happy with the Sexy Rexy livery, but all over the Figo livery here tonight, Bob.
Yeah, Rex and Figo have normally run almost identical liveries. So yeah, it is a bit strange to see the differences between these two tonight.
And you can see as Wilco, no surprises there, has the fastest lap, opening lap of this race. It looks like Whip Attack and Mac Miller getting busy in that midfield. Mac, oh my goodness, Mac having a moment. Is he going to come back onto the circuit? No, I don't think so, but I think Mac is in big trouble here, Bullseye Bob Hoskins, because he just put his foot in it too much and almost ended up taking out whip attack there, but no harm done. Everybody else managing to get on with their race. Has he got damage? He might have a little bit of damage on the front of that Porsche. And
there will be big damage on that car.
And you can see there, he almost sort of tested the steering, it looked like, didn't he, after that incident, as he's on his merry way now. Escalator in 7th, Shawnee Fuller in 8th, Good Vibes 9th, Mac and Cheese now 3.8 further down the field. As have we got something going on. This battle for the front, it's hard to take your eyes off it at the moment, Bob, because with the Baker's Dozen watching, hello beautiful people, and please, if you're watching this is very close, and wherever you're watching right around the world, we had people, Bob. I was checking the analytics on Twitch last night, and we had people from Africa watching. They're watching from everywhere.
Right, I wonder if that's Voodoo with his tribesmen trying to get a few telephone numbers for their credit card scams.
Oh, careful, the Nigerian Prince. Don't forget 1-300-565-727. Ring the Nigerian Prince if you're lonely tonight, and all you need to do is give him your bank account details. Otherwise, he will hunt you down. But this battle is incredible. Looking forward to the Lambo Super Trofeo event, and that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Rain of Fire, what a man he is, and he's done 12 hours in that at work today, and he couldn't race tonight. Still not a good enough excuse, Bob. We're not letting him off the hook, are we?
No, he had a near miss. He was sat in air conditioning all day. You know, to me, that's a bit of a weak excuse.
Yes, his dog passed away. He got COVID. Just a real shit out of luck, you've got to say. Excuse the language there, but Rain of Fire, it is great to have you on this stream tonight. The Dirty Baker's Dozen and someone... What has happened there? I've missed it. I've missed something. Was that Rexy and Figo getting a little bit close for comfort?
Yeah, so coming into T9 and 10... Obviously, Rex can carry a bit more speed through there, but I think he gave himself a bit of a jump scare when the rear of Figo's car was approaching very quickly.
There we have it. So Rexy, sexy Rexy, yibbida, right up behind Figo. And Figo now dropping a little bit further back as Rexy runs wide. This is a beautiful circuit. There's no other way to describe it. And now Albert, King Albert, the King of Spain, is 6.4 seconds back. And Rain of Fire, he's not letting this one go. He says, don't forget having to climb up and down the truck to crane the sheds off, lads. We'll get back to you on that one. What are we giving this out of 10? I think we'll give that excuse an 8 out of 10. That is fantastic. Don't forget, he's followed the channel, the Twitch stream. Absolutely fantastic, this Twitch stuff. Like we say, we are across now to, we're slowly moving across to Twitch. And what is going on? Sexy Rexy now and Figo. Very close. I thought Wilco was just about to start checking out at the front, but nothing doing on this occasion. Lap 4, 36 minutes remaining. We've almost gone 10 minutes in this race, Bob. It is absolutely flying by.
Yeah, the guys, they're going to have to keep on their toes. If you zone out even for a second here, whatever gap you had, has either grown or it's reduced significantly. You've got to be on it for the whole race here.
And you can see we're going to go to the Beamer boys. There we have it. We might go on board with Son of Spawn. No, Harvey, I beg your pardon. We'll just flick through. There's Harvey. And off goes Son of Spawn. Off the track, Bob.
Yeah, that's given Mayo the position.
So,
the timing hasn't updated yet, though, is it?
No, I don't think so, but I did see Spawn go off the track. There he is. Now behind Kilroy. You'll have Kilroy for company soon. And you can see there, camera select, and look at this. We're driving off the instruments, Bob. Look at this, we're getting our instrument rating here. You can see third gear up the hill, round the right-hander, through the hairpin. And you can see, it's something you don't notice on the broadcast cam, but the elevation changes here are simply incredible. 204.7, a few tenths off his best lap of a 204.4 for Mayo. And we might just change the car. We'll go back to Kilroy now. And it's that bus stop chicane. I think that's what caught Sport out on that occasion there, Bob. And, well, he's staying in front of Kilroy at the moment. Don't forget about Nobby Nuts. Have a nibble on Nobby's nuts, but the speed difference is what's just getting my knickers in a twist, because you can see the speed difference is incredible between these two cars, isn't it?
It is. It's massive. It's massive. So you can see already, if you look at the track map, you'll see that Wilco is only between corners 10 and 11 behind our tail gunner, who is Nobby Nuts Racing. So we are only less than half a lap away from the first lap cars.
And the sound, listen to this, Shawnee Fuller currently doing very nicely as he's coming up to what must be Mayo there in the red beamer. You can see demonstrated perfectly there, 240, 250 Ks through the bus stop. And oh no, we are on board. Oh. Bang! Bang! Crash! And that is it, isn't it? Is he back in the pits? Wow, what a time to jump on board inside the cockpit of the 911 Porsche, and he might be out of this race, I reckon.
Yeah, he's unfortunately only just come out of the pits after repairing for a first time. This will be the second time that he's popping back in for a repair.
So repairing, and look at this. Incredible access we've got for our viewers here tonight, Bob. We are actually inside the helmet of Jason Wilkinson. That's right, looking through the eyeballs of our race leader. You can't get any closer than that to the action, except for being in the car, can you?
No, yeah, you should enjoy these new cameras that we have available now. It's yeah, it's pretty good. The only thing we're missing is a chopper cam.
Doof, 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 doof. And the chopper cam would be fantastic. As you can see, a 147.882, not quite pole position pace. And it was a 147.7, I think, was the quickest lap last night for our other practice race. But you can see there where we might jump off eyeball camera and go back to the wide shot there. We might go back because there might be a little bit happening. There we have it. So riding on board, you can see the top three in the Porsche class, of course, coming up now to Kilroy. And a good demonstration there through past the traffic. And it's very important. It can cause sometimes... was that Kilroy having a moment there? I was about to say, Bob.
Here. This is going to be tricky.
Oh, this is going to be tricky. It depends. You want to get these BMWs on a pretty clear, straight bit of track, don't you?
Yeah, you do. So this could compromise both of them a little bit.
Let's have a look. Spawn.
Here we go. No, nicely done. Nicely done.
Oh, we've got Mayo. We've got Mayo in the middle of a Porsche sandwich. Yes, just happy with that one, I tell you. A tough crowd, but look at this. Figo now right up behind Rexy Buckinghamshire. And Sexy Rexy has a whole lot of purple Porsche right behind him, and the pressure is going to be absolutely immense here on Sexy Rexy.
Yes, so that's actually a change of position from the last time that we were with the guys up the front. So it was Wilco, Figo and Rex. So Rex has got the job done on Figo, and he looks like he's having a sniff at the lead.
He's doing more than having a sniff. He's got his nose right in it. And you can see there, look how close it is. Oh, Urban Ghost, I think you You've got a feel for these BMW boys, don't you, Bob? The speed of those Porsches is incredible, and they can't just evaporate, can they, here on the circuit, or off the circuit?
Yeah, no, it's very difficult. This multi-class style of racing, it's good that we can do with this now, but it can be so tricky if you're in the slower car. It can be so tricky.
Something we see, of course, a lot at the 24-hour race at Le Mans, of course, the multi-class event. But this is an incredible battle, isn't it, Figo? We didn't see what happened, but like you said, I think when we were riding on board with who was it again? I think whoever that was that went off, not was it Mayo, I think. But I've got to say that those positions have swapped with less than 30 minutes remaining in this race. 8 laps gone. This is the battle. This is the business end of this race. And we'll get back to the Beamers at the moment, but we'll give you a quick update on that. It's hard to take our eyes off this lead battle, I must admit. But it's Urban Ghost leading the Beamers there as Whip Attack goes through in the Porsche. Kilroy is off the track. And he's off the track in a big way. I'm not sure what happened there, Bob, but Kilroy has an almighty amount of damage. And I've heard that it is some sort of, I wouldn't say it's a glitch, but sometimes when you have a big crash, it looks like these cars have been sandblasted or something, because the damage looks incredibly bad on that car.
Yeah, it does. It looks as if someone's got to him with a Black & Decker, but...
Giving it a real red-hot go there. The Kraut car not doing too nicely at the moment. And they lost a couple of wars, and they're not going to be happy with the condition of that car. It might be Alvita Zane to Kilroy, because he's travelling very slowly, as we've got a stop-and-go penalty for number 92.
Speeding in the pit lane, so Albert was trying to get an early pit stop.
Well, and you can see there coming back out onto the circuit. Do they have different speed limits in Spain? What's happened there? Did he get confused, Bob?
I don't know if it was on entry or exit. I'm going to just jump to Albert now, and I'll try and find out for you.
And entry or exit, not something you want to get confused with, either on or off the track. But I've got to say, that is not going to do his race any good at all. 9 laps completed, and look at the battle at the front. Jason, Figo down the inside of Sexy Rexy. Is he going to get the job done at the moment? They're side by side. Sexy Rexy off the track onto the grass. There's everyone's favourite Spaniard coming through behind them, but that is not for position, of course. Albert well down the field. He has made that pit stop, mandatory pit stop tonight. Of course, here at Watkins Glen, part of the USA DLC pack. Stick around, start of December. We've got a huge series coming up. We've got Lambos, we've got everything. And look at this, Rexy Wilco. Wilco will be sweating bullets at the moment. He'll have some sweaty palms on that Fanatec wheel because he is under all sorts of pressure. It was a walk in the park last night. He got the Grand Slam, fastest lap, pole position, race win. But tonight he's got to work for every single inch. And when we add up all those inches, that's what's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Yeah. Al Pacino. And Whip Attack is behind the boss. So we've almost got 3 classes of race here, haven't we, Bob? We've got the first 3, and then we've got the boss, then Whipper, then Skill, then Mac, and then Albert, and then Good Vibes, and then we've got the Beamer boys. Stop-go penalty for car number 92. Is that another stop-go penalty?
No,
or is that...
that's letting us know that he's completed another lap. So he's got 2 laps now remaining to come in and serve that penalty. So going back to it, he actually met the wall head-on the preceding lap. He tried to go into the pits with all the damage on the front end of the car. He locked up and he crossed the pit lane too quick, picked up his penalty. And
there we have it. So Bob right across it. Fantastic work there, Bob. Not just in the commentary box. He's down at the side of the track, just like Martin Brundle is in free practice. And he's also in the pit lane like Ted Kravitz. Only thing is Red Bull will talk to you, I'm sure, but 10 laps gone. Wilco leads 46. Sexy Rexy, oh no! Oh, Jesus, it's terrible. It's terrible. Look at that. He's got a penalty as well, has he? He tried to make that pit stop
Yeah,
early.
so that's from the pits. Yeah.
Well, then there were two. Is that going to take him out of the equation? I reckon it might here with 25 minutes to go. What's he going to do now?
All he can do is get his head down and just keep on pushing, keep on pushing. He's going to lose a lot of time. He's going to end up in a scrap with some of the boys further back, make up for some of it. But yeah, that podium position for him, I believe, is gone now.
So it looks like the podium finish. I reckon the boss might be in the front row seats, front row tickets to that final podium position. But we'll wait and see. 92.25, just confirming. Stop and go penalty, 30 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Or was that another?
So whip attack, and he wipes himself out on the wall on pit exit.
And they've stopped. You know what that means? He's finding the options button. And he is back in the pits. And, well, what is going on here? In 3 minutes, we've had 3 stop-and-go penalties, Bob. These boys not finding the pit lane speed limiter quick enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's something. There was something on the PC version on one of the tracks that the actual sensing line was about 20 meters different to where the pit entry cone was.
And there we have it. So that could be 5.62. We've got another one, haven't we? Kilroy now.
Another.
So we're having issues with the pit lane speed limit at the moment. Thank you, Jimbledon. Great to see Urban heading up the Beamers. Heading up the Beamer boys, great effort as he does come into the pits now. Urban Ghost. As we've got Mayo there still out on track along with Spawn. Kilroy, and we like to give these Beamer boys, and I think Kilroy's got that damage repaired because the crowd car is back out on the track, the number 562 Beamer. Shouldn't really say that, but Nobby Nuts, what's he doing? He's still circulating in his very hard livery, and he needs to get hard, doesn't he, here, Bob, if he is going to make an impact here tonight. He's currently 5th and last out of the BMW class here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he did jump in last minute, didn't manage to get a quali lap in, and as you know, at the Nobby's nuts enough to get out on track and try and give it his all.
Well, he needs to get solid sooner rather than later. I've got to say, Jimbledon, this many penalties, we may as well have raced at Kota. Well, we've got
right,
the...
stop cleared for car number 46.
Yeah, number 46, Sexy Rexy. Now is he back out on track, and he's paid his dues, I think there. He's cleared the penalty. Albert still has his, along with Kilroy.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Yeah, Urban Ghost has managed to pit without picking up a penalty, so it must be, you know, but to see so many people caught out by the pit lane speeding, it's quite crazy, really.
Quite bizarre, isn't it? You've got to say, you may see it once or twice. And here we go, Rain of Fire. What excuse has he got now? Had to run on the track Monday night, and it's surprisingly more difficult to be fast than it looks. Especially for me, that's why I talk about it rather than get out on the circuit. As we can see there, Urban Ghost now back out onto the circuit, 3rd in the BMW class for the time being. And I know we've got the FIFA World Cup coming up, but we are seeing a lot of penalties, aren't we, here already? And there we have it. Wilco still leads. Figo now, he's not going anywhere, is he, Bob? You can see right behind him there, less than 2 seconds now, 1.2 in fact. Whipster 92, 30 seconds damage, fixed that, 30 seconds stop and go, and nailed the wall on pit exit. Priceless. Thank you as Whipster left us. Whipster might have left the chat there, Bob, I think.
Yeah, it does. It looks like we're down to 15 in the lobby, me and you included. So what do we have? We had, was it 10 and 5? So yeah, we're down 2 drivers so far as we see the race leader come through on the last corner.
And there we have it. So Whipster just confirming. Seems like 16 seconds damage is the perfect amount. Whipster 92, what an absolute legend he is. He's followed the channel, and if you haven't, if you're out there watching and you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal anything really. So why would you not want to follow? Why would you watch this without following? Jesus Christ, dug myself a big hole there, that's for sure, Bob. But yeah, gents, that'll do me for tonight. Thank you, Whipster. I was a little bit distracted because I've got to say that here at the moment we've got 20 minutes left in this race, and it just, you get those moments where you've got something that could mean someone had a moment.
No, it was just very close going through the bus stop. So I'm sat with Urban Ghost, who's currently sat in third in the BMWs, and I believe it was Good Vibes. Absolutely flew through the bus stop. That speed differential between the cars, it was amazing to see that.
Incredible stuff here. So 13 laps, just recapping. If you're just joining us, good evening to you, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. It's the KRL Watkins Glen multi-class social race. And if you can get that out, you're a better man than me, because Wilco leads. Urban Ghost, we're watching at the moment, third in the BMW class. And
yeah, Wilco's in pits. Yep. So we'll have to see if it is mainly a Porsche thing for these stop-go penalties.
Well, I think it has been the Porsches, has it not, Bob? Apart from Kilroy with the stop-go, I think. Is he the only BMW to pick up a penalty, I think?
Yes.
So there we have it. So Wilco coming into the pits, going very slowly, lap 14 of this race. If you are new to KRL, hello to you. Figo pitted without a penalty too, so that is going to be interesting. So now a lot of that depends, doesn't it, on hopefully Wilco has, I think we would know already, would we, Bob, if he had a penalty?
No, you only get the message pop up as you come out of pit lane.
And the boss is already in, Mac and Cheese Balls going through there, and Albert. And Albert, I was just thinking, that is not for position, is it? Mac in third for the Porsches, and I've got to say that Albert well down the field, isn't he? So it's not for position, I don't think.
No, remember Albert met with the Armco on the side of the track. He also had a stop-go 30 as well. So Albert will be well out of position to where we're accustomed to seeing him.
And he's still got plenty of pace though, as he's right behind our race leader. In fact, our new race leader is Mac and Cheese. He's done okay tonight. How have you found his race tonight? He's kept his nose reasonably clean, but he's doing okay at the moment. He's the quiet achiever, isn't he, usually in the field? He's done okay tonight.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, obviously you can see that Wilco and Figo are not that far behind him, but he's showing sort of mid-pack pace at the moment, and he's just quietly going about his business.
And there we have it. He's sitting out front. We'll stay with him for a while as Jimbledon says the KRL, breaking exclusive news here, ladies and gentlemen, the KRL RPR and Shakedown Summer Series register goes live in 10 minutes. That's right, 10 minutes from now it goes live. Get a load of this, Bob. 3 single make races across the 3 new US tracks from the USA DLC on Assetto Corsa. Should be fun. Get on and have a crack at that. Jimbledon, fantastic stuff. So just recapping, the KRL RPR and Shakedown Summer Series registrations go live in 10 minutes, Bob. Let's get on to that, everybody. 3 single make races, I should say, across the 3 new US tracks. Fantastic stuff. And I've got to say, Wilco's still got that fastest lap. Albert behind him. Not for position, though, like we said. Figo, 4.2 seconds. So who have we got left? We've got Son of Spawn leading the BMW class, but still yet to make his stop at the moment. Rain of Fire says, I'm in. Well, if he doesn't fall off the perch in the meantime, Bob, it would be good to have Rain of Fire in there for that series. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, fingers crossed he doesn't have a heavy day at work and has to cry off again.
Don't go dying on us. Don't go dying on us. I'm just putting that in the... Geez, I can't type and talk at the same time. And I thought I could multitask. I've just How do people do this? Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on in front of me, but I can say that Rain of Fire, you know what I'm trying to say, as into the pits comes our Beamer leader, the leader of the Beamer boys, just quietly, son of Spawn Dad stole my livery colours. You can see the purple and the green and the black. Albert, and what? There'll be some choice words, I reckon, in Spanish. You're close to Spain. No, you're not close to Spain because you're in Perth, but there'll be some few choice Spanish words going on under that helmet at the moment. And he is not going to be a happy paella at the moment. What happened there?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get into the replay now, but yeah, that looked like a heavy impact.
And we'll see what's going on there. Son of Spawn Dad, who stole Rain of Fire's livery, we're finding out. It's a purple and green. Should never be seen unless there's a colour in between. It looks like it's black on that livery too, as we go back to Urban Ghost, who is going to go ahead once the timing screens update. And Mayo C now goes through. Nobby Nuts have a nibble on that in the hard motorsport livery. Very sexual sort of livery there with the words on that. Of course, it is not quite after 9 p.m. Over in the western part of the country. Australia playing England in the cricket, of course. They were doing it pretty easily, the Aussies, Bob. We haven't gone there with the cricket, but I probably won't go there either with the cricket because the English taking out the World Cup very easily. Oh. And that's something has happened. Mac in the pits now, so our race leader pitting. Escalator. Geez, that's rolling off the tongue very nicely. Rexy, sexy Rexy, good vibes. Albert, who's been in the wars, my friend. You've been in the wars, my friend. And Urban Ghost just recapping their second in the Beamer class, Son of Spawn Dad. 13 minutes to go. And I think things have shaken out quite nicely now, have they not? We've got Wilco back in the lead. Figo 3.1 seconds behind him. Can you see much changing?
That is closing up that gap. Figo, I believe it was at 4 seconds, the gap between those two cars.
So he's not home yet. 3.1 seconds. What's it going to be? We might jump on board with Figo. Why not, Bob? We might just see that live gap. As we'll go to Figo in a moment. We're just flicking through. Figo. Where's Figo? Why are we getting...
Yeah, that's a bit of a glitch. It doesn't seem to follow a logical order while you're like clicking through the cars.
And Figo running a little bit wide there. Yes, I was trying to find out what the order actually is, but is it? I don't think it's even the on-track order, is it? That might be something that we can...
No.
Maybe they can look at fixing.
So yeah, there's still some fixing that they need to do, but you know, this is the best we've seen it so far, and it is looking like we're going to see some great improvements eventually.
There we have it. So we're well on the way. Figo now. What's that gap? 2.9 seconds, I think, to Wilco. So it's steady without being too much, but it's just enough. 12 minutes, a dozen minutes left in this one. As we look, Son of Spawn Dad, third now in the class. But it's this man, Urban Ghost, who has done quite well, hasn't he, Bob, tonight? Leading the way for the Beamers. Comfortable, what is he, 7-point-something seconds ahead of Mayo in second.
Yeah, he hasn't put a foot wrong, and Mayo is no slouch. Mayo has shown so much improvement over the last few seasons. So for Urban Ghost to be so far ahead, yeah, no, that is a pretty good drive.
Great work from him. Let's take a look. You can see there, how quiet are these BMWs? You can hear those brakes. They are so much quieter, aren't they, Bob, than the...
Yeah, in comparison, it's a low, deep drone in comparison to the high-pitched, shrill scream of the Porsche.
And you can see there, looking through Mayo's helmet cam. Probably haven't spent enough time on the old helmet camera tonight, but you can see there the work that goes into driving one of these BMW cars. The number one in number 2 position here tonight. Watkins, Glen, an old school track, and these walls will bite, won't they, Bob, if you're not too careful around here. There's not a great deal of runoff area, is there? It really is an old school track.
Yeah, no, there's the margin of error here is where there is none. You get it wrong, you know, you are in the wall. You are going to kiss the wall. You know, it's just a matter of how much damage you take, really.
As you can see, Urban Ghost, like we said, doing very nicely. Then it's Mayo there.
Well, the gap's come down a little bit.
Oh, that gap at the front. We'll keep an eye on that. Like we said, I think not quite smooth sailing tonight for Wilco. He currently still has the Grand Slam. Technically, I guess, pole position. Fastest lap. Can he tick the third one off, which is to win the race? Jimbledon says Wilco's got the times wrong. The registration's delayed until 9:25 p.m. as someone is still racing, so 9:25 p.m. So what's that, another 12 minutes? So you can finish this race and sign up after it if you want, Bob. That's how well we're travelling here tonight.
Yeah, so I think that's just a little bit of a sly dig at Wilco. They've obviously discussed what times that they'll get this announcement out and get the registrations open, and Wilco must have forgotten what time the race was finishing.
And there we have it. Depends how quick he goes too, doesn't it, Bob? If he can just, if he speed seeks up. No, he can't, in fact, because it's a time race, of course. What am I talking about? But 19 laps gone. So once you get into that 19-20 lap mark, it can take a toll on the drivers, can't it? It's these last, once you get below that 10-minute mark, it's a matter of concentration, really, isn't it, Bob, to keep it all pointing in the right direction?
Yeah, you can see the end approaching. You know, you just end up a little bit more relaxed. You think you know it's just routine now, and then bang, something goes wrong. Say at the bus stop, you know, something you've been taking nice and relaxed for most of the race. That's it. That's the end of your race.
So there we have it. So still purple for Wilco at the moment. 2.9 there for Figo is that gap. Escalator has snuck into the top 3. He's done very nicely. He's a fair way off, I think. We can't see that time at the moment. But what do we got? Just a tick under 8 minutes remaining in this race. What do you reckon? Another 3 to 4 laps? Maybe 3 laps at least?
4 or 5 laps remaining. It depends where Wilco is on the track. Where's Wilco? So...
maybe 3. No.
4. Yeah, it'll be another 5 laps.
5 laps. There we have it as Jimbledon saying purple laps Wilco. Well, he must have had some pace in his pocket. We saw the gap as high as 3 seconds, and it's steady now. In fact, it's back to 3 seconds.
Back to 3, yes.
So
yeah.
He must have some pace in his pocket or up his sleeve, because he's keeping Figo at arm's length there. You can see Escalator a long way back there. Sexy Rexy coming up behind Urban Ghost. How have you found his race tonight? Obviously the stop-go penalty. Commentator's curse. As soon as I say that, he's in the fence.
Oh, it's a shame. So, I mean, the boys in the BMs are obviously having a bit of fun. Now... looking at this gap, it looks as if Mayo is now within 2.5 seconds of Urban Ghost.
So it is not over yet. It is not over yet in the BMW class. You can see Mayo 2.5 now. So,
that was 7 seconds, not so long back.
So Urban Ghost, you give them a rap, they'll let you down every time. It's called the commentator's curse. Has he? Surely he hasn't found that much pace, surely, in the last couple of minutes. Was there an incident there for Urban Ghost? And you can see, he can see his target. That's where he wants to be. He can see him now, visually gaining on him at the moment. We can see it in front of our very eyes, Bob.
Yeah, I'm wondering where all of his pace has gone, unless he just wants some company for the last few laps.
Well, he's getting lonely. There's plenty of people he could call. 1.9 seconds now, so it's less Less than 2 seconds. We've got a race on here for the BMWs. And we might, Urban Ghost is gaining. We'll wait and see what the timing screen says, but down to 5 and a bit minutes. 5 minutes and some spare change. The marshals do not know what they're doing here at Watkins Glen. Waving, and Mayo.
Bit of grass tracking.
And could that be it? Could that be it, Bob? 5 minutes remaining, like we said. Son of Spawn, 8 seconds back. Stole Rain of Fire's livery. He's not happy about it. Nobby nuts. Just getting out of the way there. But he's had a pretty torrid time. Kilroy now, 8 laps down. And I might have missed that, Bob. He must have come into the pits a long time ago there in the 562 BMW. He is finished for the night, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think he had a stop go and such like, and he had been in the pits a couple of times, and I think he's just probably still in the voice chat, and he's pulled his car over to one side.
So there we have it. We will go back to the on-track action. 11 people still in double figures here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here, wherever you're watching right around the world. Don't forget, follow the channel. The aim for tonight was to get to 20 followers, and I think we've almost done that. Yes, in fact, we have done that. So big thank you to everyone for watching tonight. Don't forget, a brand new series, KRL RPR Shakedown Summer Series. Registrations go live in about 6 minutes, I reckon. 3 single make races across the 3 new USA tracks. Get on it, should be fun, should be fantastic. And we are back in action as Wilco comes across the line. He's still got the fastest lap of the race. We might have a couple more laps in it, I reckon, here. Lap number 22, and that gap is staying steady at the moment, Bob. Can Figo do anything in the final couple of laps?
To be honest, I think it's all going to be whether or not Wilco makes a mistake. It's sat at that sort of 3 second mark now for the last 2 or 3 laps. I can't see that changing.
So there we have it. You can see Figo rounding up Son of Spawn, who's third. So on for a podium in his class for the BMWs tonight. And you can see...
So talking of the BMs, Mayo is within 2 seconds again.
Within 2 seconds. Not quite DRS range at the moment, but we'll have a look there. Mayo. Yellow flags out for somebody. I'm not sure who it is. Is it...
That's Rex.
Rex, I think, who's had another issue. We might see what's going on with Rex, I think, but I just can't quite take my eyes off these battles. 2.2 now at the front for the Porsches as well, so these gaps are coming down. It is not over until the fat lady sings. Ooh! But not do that too much. My daughter is asleep here. It's getting late here in the eastern states, but this race not over by any stretch with 2 and a bit minutes to go.
Right, so yeah, the BMs have changed how this race is going. So coming towards the tail end of the race, Wilco and Figo coming up to lap Urban and Mayo, and that is where it's all squashed up again.
So the BMWs may have changed the course of the race. In fact, I think they have changed the course of the race, Bullseye, because Rain of Fire says, go and get it, Mayo. It's Mayo time. 1.9 seconds, but look at the gap at the front. 1.523. This isn't going to be the last lap either, is it? We're going to have we're going to have one more tour after this, Bob.
Yes, yeah, two laps remaining, or 1 3/4 laps remaining. It's good to see that did closed up. It's a shame for Wilco to be swearing at the BMs, but that's what multi-class racing is all about.
Unbelievable. We'll get some team radio. We'll get some thoughts from Wilco after this race. 1.6. Where's Mayo? It's 1.6 for both. Who would have thought after 43 and a bit minutes of racing, Bob, we've got a 1.6 second gap between the 2 Porsches at the front of the field and a 1.6 second gap between the 2 BMWs. Incredible stuff. It's going right down to the wire. And we've got less than a minute. That's right, less than a minute to go. Yellow flags out for somebody. Is it Sexy Rexy?
That's Rex again, yeah.
And
so he's not liking the hairpin at all. He's not liking the toe.
He's not liking the toe. He's not into the feet, is he? As Rex there on his merry way. He's had an absolute disaster, but he's still ahead of Mac and Cheese and the boss. Kilroy now 9 laps down. I think if we keep our nose out of trouble, we could even pass Kilroy ourselves, Bob. But there we have it. So lap 23 of this race. Where is Wilco? He's going to have another one. He's going to have another lap. It's down to 1.3. 1.3 seconds. There goes the oh Jesus! There goes the bottle of water. But how good is this? 45 minutes of racing. 24 laps gone, and it all comes down to the last couple of kilometres here. Can you believe it?
Look what we have up ahead. Knobby Nuts Racing is the next that Wilco and Figo will be passing. All depends on where they catch him, and it's looking like it's going to be at the bus stop.
Oh, this is going to be so tense. They're catching. They're going to have a little nibble on Knobby Nuts here at the moment. Wilco is going to have to earn every bit of this win here tonight in the multi-class social race for KRL. Where else would you want to be on Thursday night here? Live and exclusive on Twitch. Is that traffic getting out of the way? Yes.
It is.
Knobby Nuts is going
there were some
through.
twitchy moments.
It's very twitchy. It's down. It's less than a second. It's 0.7 of a second. Oh, we're coming through the boot. We're coming through the boot. He's going to have to keep his foot in it here, isn't he, Bob? It's so close here on the final lap.
Oh, let's see who likes a bit of a toe job.
Oh, that is very interesting. It's down to a couple of tenths. Don't forget Mayo. I haven't forgot about Mayo and Urban Ghost, but we're going to stick with this battle. But through the last few corners, it all comes down to this. Wilco almost home. Can Figo get him? He runs a little bit wide coming out of that corner. It comes down to whether Wilco can keep the pressure. Can he absorb the pressure? Can Figo have a go? Is he going to go through the 90 degrees? Is he going to get there through the final corner? Is he going to send it? Let's wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. Through the final corner, can he do something? He comes around. I think Wilco's got it. Yes, he does. Just checking flag out.
3/10 after 45 minutes of racing.
Unbelievable. Awesome. What a race. What a finish. That's for sure, Whipster. Jumping on to Mayo now, because these boys, it's not over for the BMWs. Let me have a look. Whipster, you took the words right out of my mouth. What a finish that was. And Mayo, can he have a go at Urban Ghost here? Urban Ghost hasn't put a foot wrong in this race, and I don't think he's going to out of the final corner. He wins for the BMWs ahead of Harvey Mayo. And then Son of Spawn, I can't believe that, 0.320, if you don't mind, for the Porsches between Wilco and Figo. And look at that, Bob, 0.519, 25 laps, 45 minutes, and it came down to that.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. I mean, it shows that the boys are, they're having to actually drive it. Have some fun, and to be that close after that amount of racing, well done, boys.
Absolutely incredible. What a finish indeed. Wow, what a race we've witnessed. As the boys just doing some donuts there. Figo working his way through the Pirelli signs. Rate of fire, what an absolute cracker. What a race, what a finish we've seen here tonight at Watkins Glen. And I've got to say that, just witnessing the end of that one, Bob, is well and truly worth the $29 for the DLC alone.
Yeah, no. The boys did really well tonight. So, I mean, hopefully you see these kinds of races going on. Hopefully it reinvigorates, the passion that we know that is out there for this title.
And there we have it, well and truly. Jimbledon says, great finish. The fireworks are going off. Wilco says, we got a bit of team radio. That was fantastic. Thank you, guys. ACC is back. Thank you, Wilco. Great stuff. Rain of Fire, what a cracker. Jimbledon, look at these boys. Great to have your company on the live stream tonight. Don't forget, I'm only going to say this once more, but please follow my channel on Twitch, because we've got plenty more great content coming soon. But 25 laps. Let's recap. Let's take a breath. I've lost... I had a bottle of water somewhere here, Bob. and it's gone missing, and there's a lot of wires around, so we'll just wait and see what happens there. But let's get back to this race. Enough about that. It is Wilco winning ahead of Figo, 0.320. That is unbelievable. And then further back was Escalator. God, now I'm butchering it, Bob.
So we used to call him Skill. So Skill was 68 seconds back. So it wasn't as close for the whole of the field. It looks as if we had a few little scrappy groups throughout. But that's because the unforgiving nature of this track and the unforgiving nature of the cars that the boys were trying to manhandle around.
And I've got to say, don't know what I'd do without you, Bob, working beautifully there. And you think that someone just taking the alphabet and mixing a bunch of numbers in there as well. I'm not as young as I used to be. Good vibes in fourth. Mac Miller was well down the field. Sexy Rexy, yibbida. Sexy Rexy got into all sorts of trouble. He wasn't into the feet, really, was he, tonight? The heel, the toe, the boot, the shoe. He was not liking any of that. Urban Ghost, 8th. The boss, I beg your pardon, in P7. And then P8 for Urban Ghost. The beginning of the Beamers. What a battle between these two. Urban Ghost and Mayo. And then Son of Spawn 12 seconds back. Nobby's Nuts. A little bit of a nibble down there. 4 laps down. The King of Spain. 6 laps down. 13 laps. Whip Attack. We lost him. And Shawnee Fuller as well. I think they might be still classified. But they're well and truly down the field. But what a race we've seen. Are we going to hear from some of the drivers? Wilco, please advise. But either way you look at it, Bob, it's been a terrific night nonetheless.
No, well, to be honest, I haven't had that much fun sitting here with you for a long time. Not that we don't have fun, we do have fun, but this seemed more excitable. The energy was fantastic, and, the top 2 of each category to be that close after 45 minutes of racing, brilliant. Thanks for having me.
Incredible stuff. And I've got to say, when I headed off into my small office room and started screaming at this screen, I never thought I'd experience racing quite like that. But there you can see live now exclusively on Twitch for the Porsche Cup cars and the BMWs. It was only a social race, but I've got to say, absolutely incredible. That might be us done and dusted. Bob, thank you, my friend, for joining us here tonight, as we're just going to wait and see whether we're going to get any of the drivers in. I don't think so, because they will be really, really sweating at the moment, I reckon, Bob, after that performance here tonight. There we have it. Thank you so much, Trev and Bob. Hope everybody enjoyed the night. Ladies and gentlemen, that is us done and dusted here for the KRL multi-class social race. Like I said, thank you, Bob, for joining us. And, well, if the future races are anything like that, stick around. We've got a ripping season coming up and more fantastic racing.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up hoarse by the end of this one.
That's right, we're going to sound a bit like Pacino. There we go, KRL, RPR and Shakedown just announcing once again the KRL RPR. I'll get this out before we jump off air tonight. Shakedown Summer Series registration goes live. It should be live now, 9:30 Eastern Time. Whatever that is over where you are, Bob. 3 single-make car races across the 3 new US tracks. Get amongst it and sign up, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That is a wrap. Here from Watkins Glen, it has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this race tonight. Don't forget to stick around for future races coming on the KRL Twitch stream. Follow if you haven't already. Keep an eye out for our socials, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.